Where it's like, if there's a minor fender bender, I'm dead, you know? One person would follow you. Oh shit.
Alex is running home for an emergency. Okay, so these are 10 curveballs that Thailand is gonna throw you, 10 tips on how to prepare for them, and I'll use examples of funny stories from my time there. Most important thing to check out. So the first one is something to think about before you even leave, and that's that if you are a gym rat, if you're somebody who likes lifting weights a lot, I would just be really picky about your accommodations, because we found that even the gyms that were like in condos that looked really awesome in the pictures, generally there's a lot more cardio equipment than weight equipment. Like there would always be rows of treadmills and ellipticals and bikes, and then sometimes the weight department was kind of lacking. Also, we found it impossible to find a 24-hour gym. As Thai people really try to conserve energy at night, so they turn lights off, they turn power off. So it's pretty hard to find a gym that's open beyond like 7, maybe 8 p.m. When you're looking at accommodations, if you are somebody who goes to the gym regularly and you're gonna be there for like weeks or months, look at the pictures of the gyms. If there's no picture of the gym listed, personally, I would skip it. You could also ask the host for pictures. But another thing is definitely look at, are the windows open in those photos? Because not all gyms are air conditioned, and if you like working out in a sweat box, then that's cool. Personally, I like to get sweaty from my workout, not from the environment, but just something to keep in mind. If you are a white person, people are just going to assume that you're Russian. I can't even count the amount of times I had to correct people and say that I speak English. I was walking down the street one evening and this guy pulled up next to me on his moped and was like hitting on me in Russian, and I corrected him and said I speak English, and then he said something else to me in Russian before he drove off. And then 4 days later, I was walking down the same street and I hear some guy pull up and start talking to me in Russian, and it was the same guy hitting on me in Russian again. I was like, dude, we did this like 4 days ago. What are you doing? And they just drove off again. I don't really have a tip with this one. I learned Russian, I guess. If you're an obsessive dog petter or you're like a really sympathetic dog person, this one might be kind of tough for you, because people tell you about the dog situation in Thailand, but nothing can prepare you for the conditions that you see some of these animals in. I saw this one dog with its ears completely covered in what I think were wood ticks. I saw this other dog that looked like it literally just gave birth like moments ago. Ugh. We saw this one dog on the beach that had lost so much of its hair from some kind of illness that it literally kind of looked like a demon dog. People will always tell you, like, just leave the strays alone, don't pet them, don't feed them. And there's a reason for that. Worst case scenario, you could get bit and now you're freaking out wondering what the fuck this dog had. Best case scenario is pretty much this. Oh no, you stay. You go get that. Go get the what? Oh shit. You go back. He wants the pets. You go back with your brothers. Oh jeez. If you go to like a suburby part of Bangkok, or you're on one of the islands, you're in more kind of like the tropical beachy feel, you're probably gonna see way more dogs. But when you go to the really big cities, the really crowded areas, it's gonna be more cats. And for how hungry you assume these stray animals are, they're actually kind of picky about what they want to be fed. We went to this market and we got these like potato donut things, and for 30 baht, which is like $1, they gave us this massive bag of them, and neither of us wanted to eat that many. I got so excited. I was like, oh my God, I get to feed the dogs. I'm so excited. This is gonna feel so good. And I wish we'd gotten it on video. Me tossing this potato donut to this dog and the sound of it just on the road. And then this dog just staring at me with dead eyes like, what is that? So I guess the moral here is don't feed the dogs, don't pet them unless you're planning to adopt them and bring them home with you. Thai people are definitely night people. Like, we got to experience both sides of things. For the first month of being in Thailand, we were waking up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at 8 p.m. And for the second month, we were waking up at 11 a.m. and going to bed at 3 a.m. So we got a taste of the morning culture, or lack of, and then the night culture, and it is crazy. The mornings are literally barren compared to how much foot traffic is out at night. The ratio of dinner spots to breakfast joints is like 100 to 1. And when we were waking up at 4 a.m., we didn't think it'd be unrealistic to go get breakfast at 8 a.m. But it was impossible to find places that opened up before like 10 or 11. Even when they do open up, a lot of Thai people just kind of eat the same meals for breakfast as they do for lunch and dinner. So if you're looking for like a traditional American breakfast where you're like, I want eggs, I want meat, I want toast, it's gonna be hard to find. And it's not gonna be exactly what you're hoping for. Like anytime you see the word breakfast sausages on a Thai breakfast menu, they're hot dogs, they're wieners. You're welcome. Also, if you do decide to live up the Thai nightlife, which you definitely should because it's part of the experience, stop at a 7-Eleven that is definitely on the way to wherever you're going, they're everywhere, and pick up a little jar of Tiger Balm and just like rub that shit all over your legs and arms to repel the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes in Thailand are fucking ninjas. Like, they are swift as the night itself. You will never actually see a Thai mosquito on you, but you'll wake up the next day and be like, what the shit happened to my legs? They make our Western mosquitoes look like couch potatoes. I don't know. Get Tiger Balm. Nightlife.
Each 1,000 people, one person would follow you. Oh shit.
Guess the interview's over.
Damn.
Thai people are kind of silent rule enforcers. Like, they won't confront you if you're breaking a rule, like in the building, but they'll take a picture of you breaking the rule and then put up a sign about you to embarrass you.
Here they just love to shame people. They wrote that they terminated this person from this company here, from this role. It's still out there.
The first place we went to, I can't even count the amount of signs that were posted. No smoking, no drinking, no outside food, no putting the chairs in the pools. No jumping off the roof. Interestingly enough, the fee for putting a chair in the pool was double the price of the fee for jumping off the roof. I don't know, make that make sense, I guess. The moral of the story here, I guess, is just follow the rules or you'll get embarrassed. I'm gonna refer to this as lady business. Lady. Yeah. Moving on. I knew that this was a thing in Thailand, but I didn't know how prevalent it was. Like, pretty much everywhere you go, you'll see really old white men on dates with really young Thai women. Especially if you go to places like Walking Street, like the really touristy areas, there will just be women lining the streets, just standing outside bars, dressed to the nines, just trying to get people to come in. Alex and I actually did go into one of these bars. We were playing pool, and right next to where we were in the restaurant, at the back of the restaurant, was a hidden entrance to this hotel that was built into the bar. And it was this whole system, like from street side to hotel room. These women would basically get people to come into the bars, they'll get them to like play pool and buy drinks and run up a tab, and then, you know, they'll hire them and take them up to the hotel. And in the probably hour that we played 2 games of pool, I can't even tell you how many women I saw bringing dudes back there. Like, it's a lot. What really surprised me is that it's not just the areas like Walking Street where you see this happen. Like, it kind of seems like all women are approached, particularly in the Pattaya area where we were. There was one night where we were on public transit going home, and this Thai woman came on and she wasn't dressed provocatively. Like, she was wearing a long floral dress. I would not have guessed that she was a lady business doer. But within 2 minutes of her hopping on, this white guy 2 seats down from us, we saw him type into his phone, "Come home with me?" ? And pass the phone to her. And then they were communicating back and forth. So she obviously didn't immediately turn him down. She didn't end up going home with him, but it was just kind of mind blowing. I was like, wow, she just hopped on and this guy immediately approached her. Like, he just knew that she might be down. I don't know if there's some kind of like hidden signal or something that I just don't know about, but again, I don't really think there's a tip here. I'm not a pimp.
Cheers. It's me and you.
If you're thinking about having a nice cold beverage next to the water on a sunny afternoon, you're not going to be able to if it's between the hours of 2 and 5. All stores, all bars, all restaurants stop selling booze between 2 to 5 p.m. I will say, though, that some local shop owners can be bribed. Heard that from a friend. But when 7-Eleven does uncover the booze at 5 p.m., you can literally get your entire Saturday night at one 7-Eleven. You can get your drinks, your mix, your weird Asian snacks, your dinner for that matter. You can get your coffee for the next day. You can get your little self-care Sunday things because you're gonna be hungover. You can get your face masks, hair masks, collagen drinks. They have like 13. Yeah, 7-Elevens in Thailand, they got you.
This shit is fun, you know? Because it's like, you're like, wow, I feel free.
Yeah.
And there's something about it where it's like, if there's a minor fender bender, I'm dead, you know?
Tuk-tuks are part of the Thai experience and you cannot skip them. For anybody that doesn't know what a tuk-tuk is, it's basically just a truck that has had seats and poles added to the back so that people can sit or just hang off the back and just catch a ride around Thailand. They're awesome. For less than 50 cents, it doesn't matter whether you're going 2 blocks or 20 blocks. If it ends up going the wrong way, then you just hop off that one and hop on another one and hope it's going where you're trying to go. A lot of people in Thailand will rent mopeds and those do look fun. Personally, I just don't really trust Thai traffic. It's kind of chaotic. People are always like driving the wrong way up one ways, or there's like 4 people crammed onto one bike, or they're swerving all over the place trying to boop around these suicidal dogs. So just save yourself the stress, hop on a tuk-tuk, and then you can drink the booze that you're not supposed to have at 4 p.m. Animals.
It's a cool little vibe here. That's fun.
So the one thing that you cannot buy at 7-Elevens. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna refer to this as green, but you can pretty much buy green everywhere. In Pattaya, there was a green shop every second block. And despite the fact that it's legal and you can buy it everywhere, you can pretty much use it nowhere. Some of these shops will have like little kind of sitting areas where you can, you know, try your product that you just bought. But as soon as you leave that shop, it's pretty much illegal to smoke green anywhere. Any restaurant, bar, you'll never see people lighting up. And the fines for getting caught smoking green are in the tens of thousands of baht, maybe even more if you're a tourist. Moral of the story here is don't break the law, because Thai prison.
I know, it's weird. That's the sign.
This is a really cool one. You can actually hire Thai guides on Tinder who will take you to really cool places. We met up with Daniel to do some business stuff while we were in Thailand, and he met Zoe on Tinder and hired her to take us to this really awesome waterfall. And we ended up having an awesome time with her. We met up with her later that night. We were all dancing and partying. Then she connected us to a guy who ended up doing our engagement photos. For 180 Canadian dollars, we hired this guy for 4 hours, and these are the pictures we got out of it. Yeah, wow. So our little date night adventure got cut short on account of
Code Willy Wonka.
yeah, if you're going to Thailand for any length of time, you will probably get Thai-a-rrhea at some point, and you will probably never know what got you. In the 2 months that we were there, I don't think there was a single food that I ate that Alex didn't eat, but I was on my ass for 4 days with awful food poisoning. But even if you don't get full-on food poisoning, at some point in your trip, you're probably gonna get a little rumbly in your tummy that has you running for the nearest toilet. Alex is running home for an emergency. His tummy hasn't adjusted to the Thai yet.
Yes, there's a pair of underwear on our balcony.
What underwear is it? Is it black?
The shit-stained one.
And when you are looking for the nearest toilet, don't call it a bathroom. If you're trying to save time, which you probably are in this situation, just call it a toilet. They'll point you in the right direction. Some tips here on how you could probably try to avoid that. Generally, people will say don't drink the ice. I think a lot of places are pretty good now at getting their ice from water that's clean, but you just never know. Also, when you're walking around these markets and vendors, look for people who are actively cooking their food, because you'll see a lot of people will have a big spread of food out and then they're sitting down, so you just don't know how long they've been there, how long that food's been sitting there. And then the last thing is go for fruit that comes in some kind of peel or something. If it's been handled and it's already peeled and cut up, you just don't know if it's clean, and it's not really any better to take that fruit home and wash it in the tap, because Thai tap water is not drinkable. So these were 10 fun tips on going to Thailand. Hopefully somebody found this helpful. If you are somebody who works online and you're thinking about going to Thailand for work purposes, we're gonna put out a full guide on how you can do that there, and just things to look for in your accommodations and in your neighborhoods, and kind of how to prepare to actually be productive on that trip. But this was just a fun one, and hopefully it helps somebody. And that's it. Kapkun ka.
We'll watch because
All right.
that's epic though.
Yeah.
Woo!